friends, and welcome back to another installment of Our Stardew Life. Today, we've got a fairly excited, short, but worthwhile project. We're setting up for chickens. See, I did say by the end of March, early April, we'd be looking at getting chickens. And here it is, the end of March, and I've already ordered 12 straight run chicks, which means they won't be sexed. We won't know which ones are boys or which ones are girls. We found a supplier nearby that has a mix of different breeds. My wife was very keen on the Buff Orpington breed, the traditional British fat hen-looking things. And one of my children was very interested in a bluish gray colored bird, an Americana, I think it's called, or an Ormerlorp. I don't know. I'd have to look up the name. I'll put the name here on the screen of what we're getting. So we got a couple of those and some good old classic Rhode Island Reds. These are all birds that are mixed type birds, so they're good for eggs and meat. And they are hardy in cold weather, which we live where it gets cold enough the air hurts your face. Now, while they're chicks, we're not going to be putting them outside in the coop. So I'm sacrificing a spot in my garage to be the chicken's brooder area for now. So we're going to get that set up today. I've got all the supplies we need. Except for a watering solution, because what I thought was a water container was a food container, which is great for food, not so great for water. So I've got an idea of how we're going to improvise that. But without further ado, let me get us ready to go. Now, in order to solve our water problem, we need a container for the chicken's water. But this is a little deep and the chickens could drown. Also, it's big, flat, and probably won't hold much water. This will hold a lot of water. And with the lid, it's airtight. If I remember my physics lessons correctly, if I drill a hole in the bottom and then glue this in place, the water will come out of the jug to fill up this basin, but as soon as the water level goes above the hole, air won't get back into the jug, so water won't continue to flow out. And that will create a nice reservoir of water that as the chicks drink it, the water will drain from the jug into the container, and the chicks have a larger source of water. So let's glue this in place and test it. Now, I've already cleaned both the inside of the container and the underside of the bowl, although I've got cat hair on it now, which is not helpful. So that's just a matter of letting the glue gun heat up and gluing this in place. Aha, it's starting to go. Let's get that good and tight in there. No, not quite enough. Not enough glue. Let's go again. Nice and hot. Nice and quick before it has a chance to start drying, because that's the problem, is it started to dry already. So the glue is drying a lot quicker than I would like. There we go. That's good and thick. I mean, that's not great. That is not holding. I mean, it's glued, it's attached, but I'm pretty sure as soon as I put water on, that's gonna just peel right off. Hot glue gun may not be the solution here. Well, That's a lot of wasted glue. There we go. Let's let that harden. That seems to have made a better seal by just putting 4 dots in the middle of the tray and then pressing down into it, as opposed to trying to get it on the bottom of the rim and pushing that down. So I told the child I could do it within 1 glue stick so as not to waste too much of their glue, and it appears to have been successful. I'm just gonna let this cool off and we'll see if she works. Okay, and here we have a successful test. Look at that. So you can see here, there's a hole in the jug, in the inside jug, right? That hole's on the inside, right there. And so long as I keep the jug sealed, the water in it doesn't come down over this point. Now, hopefully, that is close enough to the surface that the little baby chicks can drink. I think it should be fine. There will be very little chance of them getting stuck in there and drowning, but I can fill this up. I can fill this whole reservoir up and give them a fair amount of water. I am going to leave this in the garage, but outside of the chicken brooder area I'm setting up overnight, just to make sure that this water level doesn't go down and fill up the bowl more. So we'll check on this in the morning. This will not go into the cage today. There we go. So I will leave this in here. I filled it up, topped it up. Water level is once again sitting nice at the halfway point where those holes are, where that hole is. So I'll leave this here overnight. If it does happen to leak, there's no electrical wires around it, so it should be safe. And that should be good.
All right, so I did have some footage of me cleaning up an area in the garage and discussing in detail the plans of setting this up. Fortunately, that footage appears to have been lost. So I'm gonna, describe it here with the bit of footage I do have of the end of the setup. The idea is we're going to temporarily use a corner of my workshop for the chickens. This is an insulated room while they're growing their feathers until we can get the coop ready for them and until they're able to handle the cold climate a little bit better. As a container for a brooding area for the chicks, we decided to pick up a large dog crate. The reason for this is we plan on one day having a dog, so it could be a chicken brooder today and a dog crate for a dog tomorrow. I was pleasantly surprised to find out that the dog crate had a solid bottom, which means I don't need to worry about sealing the bottom of the crate. But I had discussed that I'm going to use the cardboard from the crate box to seal up the sides and back of the crate, reducing the chance of the chicks getting out. Once the chicks are in place, I'll just, put some cardboard on the door as well to stop them getting out that way. These guys are going to be small. I don't know exactly how small. I don't want them getting their little heads stuck between the bars as they try to escape. I'll also provide a little more insulation. We're going to fill the coop with bedding, and we have a brooder pad to keep them warm, and obviously a food bowl, which you can see is that big yellow dish that was the not water bowl I had mistakenly picked up. Another part of the footage that was lost was me unboxing and describing the brooder pad, which is a little heat pad that is ceramic plate. It's elevated off the ground by 4 adjustable stilts, and it plugs into the wall. This plate is meant for the chickens to go underneath to stay warm. It serves the same purpose as a heat lamp, but is slightly more controlled, less likely to cause potential of fire if the heat lamp is too close to the actual bedding. What I really like about this particular brooder is it has a skirt of feathers. So as the chicks walk through a wall of feathers to get underneath the warm spot, I guess to try and simulate going underneath the butt of their warm mother. I don't know if they will actually like that or not. I will have a heat lamp on standby in case this is not sufficient. I just thought this would be worth trying out because apparently it uses a lot less electricity and provides a much more comfortable level of warmth that the chickens can get under if they want to and get out from under if they are getting too warm. It lets them better self-regulate.
Okay, so we've got cardboard around 3 of the 4 sides, well secured, so these chicks ain't going nowhere. I do want to cover up this side here, but this side here, I won't leave it in place I won't zip tie it on. I'll just leave a piece of cardboard leaned against it, so to speak. Yes, okay. So we got the brooding pad in this back corner here. Their food dish will be here. And there should be space for their water right there, so it'll be easy for me to get to. I might put the brooder a little further back. I might swap out that food container with a smaller one for now and leave that for when they're in the actual coop, because I do have this one as well. This is the food container I was originally considering using, and I just have to check it a couple times a day, but that big thing should work too. Oh, we have a pumpkin outside the door. Let's let the lad in. Hey buddy, come on in. Come on in, bud. Yeah. And there we go. The brooder area for the baby chicks is set up. Just gotta wait for the water thing to confirm it's not gonna leak. Put food in the food container. I already have a couple bags of food sitting there next to the toolbox. And when the chicks arrive, plug her in and away we go. All right, so that is it with the prep for the chicken coop. Chicken brooder. It's not a coop, it's a brooder. The coop's outside, this is the brooder, the area where they're gonna be raised from chicks to chickens. So, the brooder's ready. Now all you gotta do is wait for the chicks to be ready. So as soon as we get that email that our chicks are ready for pickup, we're gonna be going and getting ourselves some chickens. Until next time though, guys, thank you for tuning in. If you're excited to see the chicks as excited as we are to get them, make sure you subscribe so you can see as soon as we post that content. And give a like to the video if any of this was at all entertaining, helpful, informative, or if you just, want to help the channel out. Until I see you next time though, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, have yourself a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, and a good night. Goodbye, my friends.